thing about golf?
Yeah, so what happened, and I'll clear this up because it was like a big sticking point, and it was really nothing. But anyways, so Mitch is a member at this golf course in Toronto, and it's funny, when he came back that night, he had phoned me, and I guess you can go in and go online and put your tee times down,
Right.
you know? So there was this thing that came out and had Mitch's name at a tee time for the next day at 3:30 or something, you know? Because when he got out of the car, he showed me, he goes, "What is this?" You know, and I didn't even think anything of it. I go, "Oh," you know? He goes, "I don't even know these guys that they say I'm playing golf with." So I said, "Don't worry about it. You know, I don't know what it is either." Well, the next day, I get like right off the bat, like early in the morning, Sean Avery, and Aves has been a buddy of ours for years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So Aves gets on his podcast and says, you know, Mitch Marner really cares. He's got a tee time tomorrow morning.
Oh, Jesus.
At this golf course, and like he really cares. So I'm like, what's going on here? So I get on the phones right away. So I look at Avery's his tweet first, you know, and yeah, it's exactly what he says. So I called Mitch's agent and I said, "Hang on, what's going on here?" And so under further, you know, investigating into everything, I found out, because I phoned the golf course and I'm like, "What's going on here? You've caused some problems." So I found out that anybody that's a member there can go online and book the tee times.
Right.
Well, these two 13-year-old kids got into their dad's, you know, into his thing. And so they just, as a joke, said, "Hey, let's put our names down and we'll play with Mitch Marner." Okay? So that was online. So I guess another member went online and saw this and
Took it seriously.
screenshot. And he's a member or a really good friend of Sean Avery's. And he sent the screenshot to Avery.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I finally call Avery. I've known Sean for a long time. And I said, "Aves, like, what are you doing here?" You know, it's like, buddy, I've been with him. I've been with him since the day since he left the ice.
Yeah.
Pretty well, you know? And I said, he wasn't playing golf. And he's like, "Rocket, I got pictures of it. I'm going to get him all summer long. I'm going after him." I'm going, "Aves," I go, "why didn't you call me?" I go, "You know I do his security. Why didn't you call me and ask me?"
How about doing your due diligence before you
Or how about not shitting on a guy who, even if he is playing golf.
Well, let's get to the point. Is that's true. He can do whatever he
that's
wants.
exactly.
right?
You know what I mean? He can do whatever he wants. And I'll guarantee you, that kid did not have a golf on his mind at all when he
No.
came back to that house.
No.
Yeah.
Okay? And I saw him for the next 72 hours straight. So I know he wasn't golfing at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not Mitch Marner's makeup.
Right.
You know, he just, that's the farthest thing in his mind. But Abe's like, so it got into big controversy, and then all the, you know, podcasts and other radio shows, you know. So there was two in particular. I'm not going to get into who they were, but there was two guys that host a podcast that were really ripping at Mitch. So I had enough.
Yeah.
And I DM'd them and I let them have it.
Huh.
And I guess they phoned Sportsnet and they were like, "Hey, you got to tell Rocket to back off. We're scared. He's going to come after us." I said, "You're fucking right. You should be. I will come after you." You know,
It's amazing.
But,
You get the keyboard warriors who are willing to say. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, they're on a podcast, so it's probably a bit more public. But especially, you know, and we've had this with the amount of success that the sign off this podcast is seeing, where every so often you'll get one of those comments, and it's a trolling comment. And I think in the person's mind, they don't realize that there's a real human being reading it. The number of times you reach out to the person who has made the comment and just give them a slight answer or a response, and they turn around and say, "Hey, I was just kidding around. I love you guys. Keep doing..." Like, the number of people who are giving Mitch shit for golfed or not having golfed, I bet you they're big fans. And they just don't clue into the fact, and this relates back to what we were talking about on the last podcast, that there's a human being with real emotions behind the athlete that they're trying to interact with. And as soon as they have that moment of humanity unveiled, now all of a sudden it's just an interaction they feel like a dick for doing it.
well, see, Mikey, but here's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the comment that those guys bring out. I'm worried about the 50,000 followers, the
Right.
50,000 idiots that follow these guys, and they get ideas from it.
Yes.
Like some of the stuff that comes out of out of their heads, like, "Oh, Mitch was doing this," and like, dude, no,
Where are you getting that?
Yeah,
this from?
yeah.
But
It's the same,
that's the way they can get engaged with, and be someone that they're not.
That's right.
Right.
And that's a big pet peeve with a lot of players, because there was a bunch of Mitch's teammates after the series that I went out with, where we were hanging out. And I had to tell Mitch about these two guys that I ripped in from a radio show. And every other player to a team said, "Good for you, Rocket."
Yeah.
Those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they get it. They live in Toronto, and everybody, when you sign a big ticket, like I said, you got a target. They get all that. But you know what? Enough.
Yeah.
Enough. Because, like I said, it's the 50,000 clowns that are watching these people. So when they go get gas, someone's just been in there and said, "Oh, there's, so-and-so, and what an idiot he is."
Right.
Well, but you lose respect for the guys in the media, too, that do that. And you mentioned Sean Avery and a friend and all that stuff, but you called him and told him that this was not the case. Mm-hmm. And he still insisted on going after him, or at least do your due diligence, phone the golf course, because I know exactly what happened, because we can do it at my club. You can phone in and book details. And I can say, today I'm playing with Rocket and Sidney Crosby and whatever, and somebody takes a screenshot of that, and next thing you know, everybody thinks Sidney Crosby's in town,
100%.
which is ridiculous. So,
and I phoned the head pro there, and I said, because Mitch's dad and I talked about it, and at the beginning I didn't think it was a big controversy, but then it started to get legs, so I phoned the pro there, and I said, "You know what? This is a real prestigious club here in Toronto. You better have a better security system.
Yeah.
If you're getting 13-year-old kids in there booking times,
right.
If it's X amount of dollars to join your golf course and it's an expensive one, you better protect people.
Right.
So, and then that's what I said. It started getting legs, and I said, "You better shut it down right now, too."
Yeah,
to the pro and all.
I'm sure the father of those kids got a stern talking to by the golf course after that. Hopefully, so change your password.
Well,
I mean, I know I could guess my dad's password on every single platform he's on, so I would know how to book myself with Sidney Crosby and Rocket.
But in fairness to the kids, they were just having some fun, and
I
I don't think
no
there's
idea.
anything malicious
Yeah.
to it. But hey, let's put our name down with Mitch because we know he plays at the
Right.
course.
Well, that's
and he
what
probably
I-
would have thought that was funny in the middle of the season.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Sign Off, a Frameworth podcast. Just a reminder that we have full episodes of the Sign Off available wherever you get your podcasts, on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. Make sure to like and subscribe on whichever platform you use. You can find us on Twitter at Frameworth Sport or on Instagram at Frameworth Sports. And hey, if you're not sick of me yet, you can find me on Twitter at Retrograde Mikey. Finally, feel free to send us emails with your questions you want us to answer on the show, and we may feature you live. You can do that by sending your emails to signoffpod@frameworth.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you with a new episode every single Thursday.